Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's still about the GNFX from GW Trends. I labeled this video Trading the Right Way, right? Because I have a series of questions and inquiries, okay, from students, okay, and people all over the world sending in comments, questions, and I'm not going to be doing this. I'm not just going to be looking at any chat. I'm just gonna be doing this, all right? I'm just gonna be doing this and just gonna be doing this in the freestyle way, all right? I'm just gonna be going through any of the chats, all right? Any of the chats, and just do this. Okay, first, I want to be sharing with you two things, all right? You can have a market, right, that is actually making higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. That's an uptrend, right? Like that. Okay. You can also have a market that is doing lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. All right, that's the downtrend. Okay, you're gonna have a market that is like either ranging. Okay, that's more of a sideways market, right? But today I'm not going to be showing you all the stuff today. I'm going to be showing you how you can trade the right way and how you can actually identify, right? Um, we tell traders we're not actually right all the time, right? But you can actually reduce. Okay, what I'm is reduce your risk exposure, right? Actually, get out of 10 trades, right? You can actually get three right, and three good trades can actually end you a lot of bucks, All right. Okay, we're just gonna look at okay, assuming we're here in this sort of market, okay, we're just gonna use a line to separate this. All right, this I'm still using the MT4, so you don't have really a way to actually do that. Okay, with the MT4. Okay, so let's say we have a boundary from here to here, and we can just choose to enclose it. Okay, just choose to enclose it. Just make it a little bit more unique. Let me see. Okay, what is happening? Come on, it's not clicking it. You have to shift this out. Okay, make that beautiful. All right. Okay, so just do that. Okay, so we have a market that is actually trending from this high, where this low, supposed to be lower high, also make a lower low, right? But at this point, we can see that the market have been unable to break below this new low here. This is the new low, all right? We have seen that we are yet to break below the new low at this point here. And on approaching this area, we see this candle with a very nice rejection, right? Actually rejected this structure here nicely, all right? That's still not a very good entry because we know that we are in a downtrend, all right? So what we're going to be waiting to do, we're looking for an opportunity to actually go shorting the space, all right? Okay, so if we would go down to say the daily, just zoom in a little bit, daily, okay, right, just take out all the lines, right, okay. So we have the daily, go down to a daily time frame. We would then see that the area in question, okay, is around here. So let's just zoom a little bit. And we see this nice rejection from a daily time frame. And we see this huge candle here. Price then drops one more time back down. All right. And on this day, came with a huge candle. All right. Okay, let's just zoom in a little bit to see what I'm talking about. In all the structures here, in all what is happening here, there is no clue, there is no indication of bullishness. Okay, there is no indication of some sort of bullishness all here. All right, because in my own trading journal, in my own trading system, there are certain candles I take into consideration. Okay, in terms of when I'm looking for a reversal pattern, but you see, you just can't find any candle here that actually shows you a reversal pattern. So I'll just go down to a much higher time frame. We actually saw this Arame candle here on the weekly. It's supposed to be followed by a bullish candle here, but of some sort, I think here. So let's just quickly change the broker right now to some other broker now. All right, let me just pause it. All right, so this is what a different broker looks like. This is FTMO, Saver demo account. This is what it looks like, and we have okay, we have nothing. Can you see that, guy? We have absolutely nothing to work with. Support here, visibly, nothing to work with. Let's quickly change that. Just like that. Look at the different. You see, with this candle here, there was rejection here. But with this, no, observe that, guys. You see, no dropping down to the zone. See? So, there is a very serious challenge, okay? And challenge they're having at the moment is different broker actually give us different information in terms of the chart. Okay, so you need to understand. Okay, so let's just try another broker. Let's try something different, and let's see what some of the broker. Right. So you can see with this one, you can see it's almost similar to what the other broker actually like Forex actually offered, and we also saw this projection coming out in here. But if you go down to let's go down to daily time first, and then let's see what we have from a daily time frame. Let's see what we have from a daily time frame. And just trying to find my route. Okay, right. I think I'm there. I think I'm down there. Okay, let me just zoom in a little bit. Here, you see this candle here. This candle here. This candle here. Very strong candle. Came back. This is where the support was made. And we had a bounce of this zone, followed by a bullish candle, another bullish candle. All right, breaking through this resistance here. Right, so we had a resistance here, and we did see how this candle broke through this resistance, retraced, okay, and the candle came in, broke through, all right, and we saw this strong candle breaking out of the structure here. So definitely we have seen how we broke out of the structure, but on the weekly time frame, go down to weekly time frame, we can also identify that from weekly time frame, it looked clean for a breakout. All right, breakout, low drops, okay, followed by bullish candle. Definitely, we see how all this, all right, came together into forming bullish candles on the monthly. Okay, so this came as a candle, next month candle came in bullish, right? What we're looking for from the end of that very month will be bullish opportunities. All right, so we'll just put that down, and from this point on we look for bullish opportunities, and this came in, and the next candle actually came into filled in retracement. All right, this one came in so strong. Okay, so if you go down to a lower time frame, the daily, we will see that all this happening here. Okay, this came bullish, followed by a bullish candle, bullish indecision candle, and you can see how we then moved from that point on, followed by some short candles. Okay, bearish candles not being able to pull up. All right, so we then moved from that point on, and there we, all right, went up. Okay, all right, so let's just, okay, let's just see another example. Go to a different chart. I think just do with the euro GBP. All right, euro GBP at the moment. Okay, at the moment we are in some sort of indecision. You can see if we go down to a monthly time frame, we can identify that this is a bullish candle, okay, on a monthly time frame, and should follow by another bullish candle. So whatever we are looking for at this point would be, okay, a bullish setup. Okay, so we just go down to it, the weekly time frame, and we can see that this indecision candle came in here to fill, followed by indecision candle, right, and indecision candle. So what I expect to do as a trader, right, is to wait at the lowest point. Okay, that way I will reduce my risk, okay, exposure. Okay, so I'll just wait here, okay, at the lowest point, and also identify here that this was a bullish candle followed by a bullish candle. Okay, so there is great demand inside of this area, but here we didn't see the demand actually continue with this candle inside a new week. Okay, so this automatically tells us that there is a hinge here, is a problem here. What are we going to look to do? We're going to look to wait. We're not going to look to trade. We're going to look to wait, and then wait for price to come back into this definition candle or area of where there was demand, and then speed breaking the structure. So automatically what we have here is a resistance, okay, forming, okay, it's forming on the daily, on the weekly. We can see that it is also previous structure on the weekly. So definitely what we want to be doing at the moment is we don't want to be shorting the play. We want to only looking for long opportunities because of the monthly time frame. So if we would extend this down to the monthly, probably, so let's just highlight that to come up with the monthly, and let's just bring this up to visible on the monthly. We will then see that these two areas, okay, this is close area. Also, this aligns with previous structure too. All right. So we could for one, okay, for one reason, point out that this is an impulse. This is a correction here, okay, with these two candles, and followed by a new impulse. Okay, so what we need is a bullish setup only. We go down to the weekly, we found in filling candle, followed by a candle, also came in strong. So what are we looking for? We're looking for bullish setup. At this point, we had this ancient candle, and we can't start to assume, imagine that the next candle should be a bullish one, okay, because it can actually be a bearish one. And from this point on, you can see that this is the nearest resistance, but it's the nearest support. So what we're going to be looking to do, we're going to wait for price to actually fail and come into this area if and only if price can actually find liquidity in the market. Then and only then you will look for those opportunities. Go down to H4. We then saw from the H4 how everything went on the H4. no real candle to actually give us that age, all right? No real candle to actually give us that heads up as to what we want to be doing. So definitely for this kind of trade, we should not be taking kind of trade because there is no real reason to actually taking this kind of trade because um, we don't really see much in for the trade, all right? All right, so um, between multiple rejection of this resistance, and we could also see multiple rejections of the support. Okay, so what we want to be doing, we can actually come into trading a very tight range. Okay, rejection one, filling, rejection one, and bullish rejection of the resistance. So at this point, I would say we actually some sort of range, okay, some sort of range bound um, 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 right movement. All right, so we can actually see anything possible here. All right, so let's just go straight into another chart and then look at um, some few examples, okay, from other chart. And you can also see here bullish setup, retracement, bulls came in on a weekly time frame. So if you look at this structure on a monthly, look at bull followed by a bullish candle. So on a weekly, it actually also reflects what is happening in the monthly thing. So we see this filling candle, filling, right, pull back, and you see how everything then continues bullish. And also, this also reflected on the daily time frame. Strong, okay, strong, engulfing candle here, found support here, and you can see how everything moved from that point on. A little bit of resistance inside of here, resistance, all right, but strength actually came into the market here from this point on. You can see demand actually coming in here, and we also see how price was able to break, continuing that structure. But if we go to look at what happened here, and also how this kind of fit on a weekly time frame, yeah, there's a pullback, so we can actually see this on the daily time frame. Then next day came back, so this was on a Monday, retracement, Tuesday, Wednesday, filling, Thursday, the candle, Friday, Monday, a new week came in. We saw how this peered through all this area here, and you can see all these guys, this broke through this key area, coming back to testing this area, rejecting one, rejecting two, rejecting three, and you see how price then found strength and you know move to the upside. All right, but also similar to here, we see how price came into testing this resistance here, resistance, resistance, came back, couldn't drop below this area here, and you can see how they started to fill in gradually, and it's continuing to the upside. All right, little instant candle, bearish candle. All right, and just gonna identify how we actually do this right in the market, and we have this huge support around here. And see how price and trade found support here. See this candle, right? Strong bullish candle, but resistance up here, and you can see how that found its way back into the top around the 142, and you can see this came in bearish. What we want to be doing, we want to be seeing how price can actually come into taking out all this huge resistance here, which actually turns support, and we can see that happening with this candle, and that also happened with this next candle, and came back, tested this point, and you see how price then further drop even after testing this zone, going for liquidity, and then price also further drop to the downside. So those are point areas which we want to start, okay, planning our trades. Okay, so at the moment, what I see here, um, what I want to personally do with this setup here is I want to be looking for buy opportunities, okay, until we can have a break above below the structure. I want to be looking for buy opportunities only because of this candle came in as a filling candle, but definitely it did not reject this previous structure here. So we want to see an opportunity of buying at the lows and coming into testing the structures here, and that will be very classic to see. Let's just go see why I want the daily time frame. Here, okay, here we saw some sort of a very strong feeling and also followed by a bullish engulfing pattern here. So definitely, if I can actually come back into this zone, I think that would be a nice area to start looking for those buy opportunities around this point, because definitely whatever is happening here can actually come in to be a retracement of a greater move to the upside. All right, but that I do not know at the moment, so I would only have to look at what the market actually presents, okay, to me as a trader, okay, to be able to make that decision, okay, because definitely what I wanted to see, okay, what I wanted to see was either this candle actually would have come in here to reach at this point, but definitely there's no way to start shorting this way to the downside, because definitely we're going to expose ourselves to unnecessary risk. Okay, but on a weekly time frame, this is what we feel, and for a monthly time frame, we can actually see this actually could actually come in as a pullback into testing the 140 area. So that's why we're not going to be in a hurry to actually make that decision of shorting to the downside unless we can break through this huge area, and only the retest can we look to venture to the downside. But definitely, what we're going to be looking at, we're going to be looking at this area here as a very strong area also for reasons to actually be involved in the structure. But definitely, until from this point on, we are very close to support, far from resistance. So what we want to be doing, we want to be waiting for price to actually hit back this area. If price actually give one of the reasons to actually go long on this trade, we'll just have to take that. All right, and we're just gonna be looking at another page, example the card. You know, a few weeks back, I was actually trapped, okay, with students. Let's just see what happened here to us. Okay, this actually came in with this structure here. Okay, it came in with the structure, and you know, I like to share my experiences with students because that's the only way they can learn. All right, this candle came in here very strong to the downside. All right, and if you just check it out a bit, you can see that it's getting very strong. And what we wanted to see was further drops to the downside, all right? And we can see that this candle here, okay, and okay, this candle here, okay, about this point, like just a little bit, right, came in here, followed by a swing candle, which was followed by another bullish candle. But definitely there was no demand here, and you can see how this actually moved up a little bit with no demand actually dropping back to downside before there was great demand inside of this area with this structure here, and you can see how everything moved from that point, breaking above all this previous structure in the market, which we actually saw here, okay, and with rejecting rejection, which all happened probably happened here. I can see how this filling candle came in, mobile extension candle on a weekly time frame, and this took out everything that happened here. You can see how pricing moved back into testing this key area before then dropping to the downside. That also happened because definitely this area was there was demand here because of this structure here, and demand could actually check out all these things. But you can see how the engine candle came in, and you can see then from that point on how price then dropped to the downside, and then definitely we are back into testing that key area. I think it really would be a very nice area to start option opportunities, but definitely with the way this candle is in position, I think I will have to wait for a rejection, most possibly on the daily time frame before then moving into taking that trade, because I you know, you don't want to be exposed too much, all right? You don't want to be exposed too much. But when you're exposed too much, you're going to lose things too much, and it's a trade, okay? And that really will not be very good for a trader, all right? But from a trading perspective, will not really be good. So we're heading into Tuesday, um, 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 trading day, all right, on Tuesday. Just be very careful on how we approach. Okay, it's on Tuesday. All right, that's how we do it. Okay, you're not gonna be just wake up one morning and then we start taking those trades. Okay, so we actually come into the market and then set up and plan, okay, ahead of time what we want to be doing with respect to every candle, okay, whatever the candle is showing to us, we actually take into recognition, okay. Here we had a very strong bullish candle here, and definitely if we are to come into a short trade from this point, I think it was where price is like a magnet here. I think we need to target this point, but from here on, I think we can actually expect that whatever happened here could have might just as well be above, taking out all this area here. And whatever happened here on Monday, this actually looks more like a great setup and actually coming to continue to upside. That's also a huge possibility too. So we just need to reevaluate on one point and then decide what we want to be doing as traders. Okay, but at this point in time, we're already high on the week, so we just what we're just gonna be doing just kind of wait for some bit of pullback. I think that'll be the best option for a trade. Okay. Although many times we can actually see some setup actually fail. Okay, but definitely we are going to take into recognition this key area here because definitely it was a very strong structure in the market and anything can happen from this point on. Um, this area where great demand was found, also the area where great demand was found. I think if you shut around this point at the high, I think we calculate target this area to one because definitely price will actually be like a magnet instead of the other pattern. The whole market is actually so I think that's what we want to target. Certain scenarios can happen in the market, bullish structure, some kind of flow by bullish exhaustive pattern see how everything fed and the next one still found liquidity without that area and moved to the upside before. Then this candle actually came in as a candle also no direction and you see how pricing drops to the downside. But if you just go down to a weekly time frame to look at when and how price fell dropping to that point, you could see that on a weekly time frame that this came in as a bearish candle, right? Then how a candle and see how pricing dropped from that point to the downside. And just look at certain market scenarios. Okay, so what we want to be doing, we're going to be waiting for price to some sort of come into this area and create a rejection of this area. And when that would happen, I think that would be the best time to start looking for those opportunities in the market. Okay, so we just go on a daily time frame. So we just see what other brokers are actually saying about this therapy. So let us see what other brokers are actually saying, like in terms of how the candles are being positioned. Okay, if okay, it's also similar here. Um, but it wasn't really that distinctive an engulfing pattern, but it was at least to an extent it was okay, cool. This this is a very unique setup here. Impulse, this is the correction. This is the next impulse coming in here, but we definitely we need to start seeing the positions coming in and to continue with impulse to the outside. That also could be a possibility, guys. But definitely, this is a very key area. And we'll see if I actually come to reject this area when that will happen. I think that will be the best time that we look for short time, look for short opportunities to downside for today. All right, that'll be all for today. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoy this presentation. And see you next time.